r/AskReddit, what's a musical hill you're willing to die on? Every generation has at least one song universally known despite music tastes that replays in their head at random like a bad commercial jingle. Pretty sure it's I Want It That Way for my range of millennials. I was lying on the grass on Sunday morning of last week, indulging in my self-defeat. Mr. Brightside for millennials, anyone? It's a tie between Pumped Up Kicks or somebody that I used to know. If You're in the Right Place at the Right Time, Orinoco Flow is one of the greatest driving songs ever. I celebrate Enya's entire collection. No Doubt was a great band, Gwen Stefani not so good on her own even if she has taught many a person how to spell bananas. Tragic Kingdom is an amazing album. If it weren't for her and Jim Carrey I'd be fully illiterate and destitute. Radio stations should play more than 250 songs. Every genre has great pieces and every genre has tribe. Popularity and artistic integrity are not diametrically opposed. Most Christian music is basically just modern country music with more talk about God and less talk about tractors. This reminds me of the episode Christian Rock Hard on South Park. There are incredible awesome songs in almost all genres. Lady Gaga is a better performer, singer, and artist than Madonna. I don't consider myself a Lady Gaga fan by any stretch. But I will defend this hill with you until I bleed out. An actress. Music is art. Like any art, if it doesn't speak to you, you're not the target for it. That said, there's plenty of music that's just there to occupy time like hotel paintings. It's widely accepted here on Reddit but not as much in the real world, but Weird Al is a freaking musical genius whose work and personality puts him in the pantheon with Bob Ross and Steve Irwin. Side note, Weird, the Al Yankovic story is hilariously unhinged. Daniel Radcliffe and Evan Rachel Wood are fantastic. Everyone should watch it. My dad got so frustrated with this that he did a Google marathon to find out why. Apparently, radio stations figured out that people only listen for 20 to 30 minutes on average, on their commute. They also do not care about listener experience, as listeners do not add or subtract to their revenue, unless they're small stations. Their money comes from ads, so it's more economically viable to just play the same 100 songs on a loop, and pay for just those 100 songs, than to add variety. Some of his polka jams are my favorite songs, especially the mashup covers where he blends different songs together so well. Modern country music is unlistenable. Every time I hear stadium country I think of Bo Burnham's song Pandering. Video game music is real music. That's all, peace. Nobuo Uematsu is one of the greatest modern composers. Dave Grohl's best work was on Songs for the Deaf. Oof. That's a bold claim and I have to say, I think I'm here for it. His drumming on that album is absolutely exceptional. That album is one of the best rock albums of all time, but actually Joshua was the real reason behind it. He pretty much orchestrated a lot of it. He even part-wrote some of the drums. Watch the documentary into making it. Millionaire and Go With The Flow were drummed by Gene Troutman. Michael Hutchence was an incredible vocalist, one of the greatest ever. INXS made some phenomenal music that you rarely hear played anywhere anymore. WTF. Talent shows have added little or no value to music as a whole. He'll be joining you on this hill. Muse is a band that you sort of outgrow. I feel like Matt Bellamy outgrew the ability to write good lyrics. Classical is underrated. Old classical and new classical is the bomb. Do yourself a favor and get into that shit. 100%. When I was growing up, the only culture I had was in my yogurt. I met and married someone whose mother played the cello. Though that I got to know classical music. One highlight of 2022 for me was holidaying in London and seeing the BBC Orchestra at Royal Albert Hall perform Mahler. Was breathtaking. Salisbury. You have to climb up on it first. But the view is lovely. Being a jerk about the music other people like might be a part of growing up, but if you don't grow out of it you most likely have some issues with yourself you need to work out. The Bee Gees were awesome. Incredible songwriters. Anyone not familiar and wants a taste, go listen to How Deep Is Your Love and Too Much Heaven. Why are talent shows almost all music anyway? Let's hear some jokes or poetry. Let's see some paintings or hand-knitted sweaters. Last Christmas isn't even the best Wham song. Everything She Wants is a fucking jam. Yes dude, holy shit, Everything She Wants is my favorite Wham song. Followed closely behind by Ray of Sunshine, so good. The songs of Milli Vanilli were jams even though we cancelled them in the early 90s. I don't care who was singing, the music and the production in songs like Blame It on the Rain was. Don't Forget My Number is a great song. It's got some bizarre moments, like the high part, but it's so danceable and an earworm of the finest caliber. The real singers should have got the Grammy and gone on tour. They were good singers. John Farnham's You're the Voice is one of the greatest pop songs ever created. It even has bagpipes in it. Found the Aussie. It should be our national anthem. I first heard it in Hot Rod and it helped create such an epic scene. It's okay to only like a couple songs by artists, and not enjoy listening to full albums. In fact, you can still call yourself a fan of said artists, even if you don't like every song by them. I don't like Panic at the Disco, and that's okay. I was thinking you meant school talent shows at first and was ready to argue. But TV talent shows I agree with. So much good music exists outside of Western pop culture awareness. We are Otobo Beaver, Link. Disco is unironically good. Absolutely. It was great, but it had sexual overtones, lots of black and gay influence, and people had to decide that it was terrible as a reaction to that rise in influence and power. Not quite musical hill, more musical fan hill. Gatekeeping music doesn't make you as cool as you think it does. Scoffing at people for listening to normie music doesn't make anyone else think how great and varied your music taste is. You just sound like a bit of a pretentious knob. Also, varied equals good, which is a fallacy I see a lot of those folks fall into. I have listened to plenty of underground music that just straight up isn't good in either quality or it's just super reductive. Cracked Rear View by Hootie and Amp, The Blowfish is a great album. Might have to check it out. I've always said the same about Third Eye Blind's debut album. There isn't a bad song on it. I've had a couple friends scoff at me when I tell them that, but then end up into that album LOL. Britney Spears, Gimme More is indie pop. James Hetfield could have made a lot of money as a hitmaker for other artists. It's a shame Hetfield didn't put out solo albums with more melodic songs that wouldn't fit Metallica. Toxic is a great song. Cause they get signed to shitty deals that throttle their creativity in order to keep the brand clean. It took me a really long time and some Googling to realize that those are two different statements. I thought James Hetfield had written songs for Britney, and it had gone completely over my head. I couldn't give two shits about my favorite band being in the Hall of Fame. Music is not a competition. Sirens and alarms have no place in music, especially when I'm driving. Diss rap is childish and cringy. Especially when it's rappers that are over the age of 30 and above doing it. Pusha T, The Story of Adidas /Drake diss /link. Mostly I agree, but here's one where Drake got called out for being a shitty dad and may have actually stepped up as a result. I don't know, man. No, Vaseline hits pretty hard. That one hill that Maria was singing on in The Sound of Music was pretty nice. I'd die there. Be careful, dog, those hills are alive. Hello everyone. Thanks for sticking to the end of this video. I really appreciate it. I just wanted to humbly ask you to subscribe to the channel. According to my statistics, 100% of my viewers in the past 28 days are not subscribed. I have always wanted this channel to reach 1000 subscribers, and if you want to support and be a part of that, subscribe. It's free and it's an awesome way to support the channel. Thanks again. Reddit glitch out.